Hello world, I'm Chris Pirillo, and you've tuned into another live edition of the Locker Gnome Daily Report, or TLDR for short. You could have watched this live, the entire hour's worth of a broadcast with me, and interact with me, and ask me questions, and hear me talk about things. But you gotta be a patron. Head over to chrispirillo.com to sign up to become a patron right now. I'm going to do my best to react to the news that there's a new Indiana Jones film that's going to be released. Did you know that? I'm really, really excited. That's my first reaction, by the way. I'm excited about this. I have to fight the vacuum on the stairs right now. Well, not physically fight the vacuum. I've tried that before, and I've always lost. That sucks. Because it's a vacuum. No, Pixie decided to have an accident. And we've got to clean it up sooner rather than later. Otherwise, the stench wafts throughout the gnomestead. How's that for a visual? Aren't you glad that the internet does not have some kind of smell mechanism that goes through the pipes into your nose? Your olfactory senses are thanking me already. Yes, I'm excited about Indiana Jones. I am. And by the way, I am, to answer Raul's question that was asked a few seconds ago, I will be doing the live Apple announcements stream next week. I'm excited because I remember when I first heard about Indiana Jones, I knew of Harrison Ford. I didn't know much about Indiana Jones back then. I knew of Harrison Ford, though, because of Star Wars, and I liked Harrison Ford. I loved the Han Solo character as portrayed by Harrison Ford. So when the Raiders of the Lost Ark was released to theaters, I couldn't see it. My parents would not let me. I was too young to see it. And I think it was around the time that I must have been in the third, fourth, maybe even second grade. I couldn't even tell you. I was young. And I don't blame them, quite honestly. After having seen Raiders of the Lost Ark, which was certainly one of my favorite Indiana Jones films, if not my favorite, I can understand why they would have held back on letting us, my brothers and myself, see the movie in theaters. That scene at the end, spoiler alert, wow, that freaks me out, man. But, I use the animated GIF of Totes' face melting off and his eyes roll. Blah! That's my best impression. Blah! Someone can Photoshop a Tote face over my. Anytime it's hot in Seattle, that's the tweet I post. Seattle right now. That's the tweet because it gets hot. That scene freaks me out still, man. Oh, graphic. But, I certainly was able to see the second Indiana Jones film, the Temple of Doom. And I liked it. I actually saw that film as a part of a party. I think I was in the 5th grade or something like that. We went out, friends from the class went out and saw the movie. And it was fun. I mean, it was also a little graphic, but it was also graphic, but Indiana Jones has never been like horror. It's about as deep as I'd want to go. Fantasy, like reality and fantasy, like intermixed. Like you knew that this is possible, like the paranormal, but also fun and adventurous and realistic, but also imaginary. And I think that's how I encapsulate how I feel about the Indiana Jones films. I also saw The Last Crusade later on. I know I was in high school when that was released. And I enjoyed The Last Crusade. In fact, I would say it's right up there with Raiders of the Lost Ark for whatever reason. In fact, I may even on a certain day choose The Last Crusade over Raiders of the Lost Ark. And I know for some that's blasphemy. In terms of because I gotta describe all this because this is why I'm excited. My first reaction is like this is exciting. Indiana Jones has been a part of my life even before I could even see Indiana Jones. The last Indiana Jones movie after The Last Crusade was of course Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which many people did not like. They thought it was too far-fetched. I did not. I'm not going to say I subscribe to the theory of ancient astronauts, but it's certainly fascinating. I think it's well within the wheelhouse of Indiana Jones. Like everything that I think is believable within the Indiana Jones universe, I think is it's right there. So there was nothing that really disappointed me about Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. There was nothing that I felt was out of bounds with that movie. As much as some people just did not like it for whatever reason. I didn't have the same type of reaction that others did. So. And it's difficult to watch an Indiana Jones film as an adult for the first time, like, the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, because the first time you saw Indiana Jones, if you're my age, it was when you were substantially younger. And sometimes watching the film, it matters to you and it resonates with you based on the time in your life that you see it. And this is always going to ring true. So I'm excited for the new film for one reason, and that is because two people are involved: Harrison Ford and Steven Spielberg. So I am walking into it with excitement, not cautious optimism. I expect it to be as entertaining as any other Indiana Jones film has been for me. And quite honestly, if there was a low point for an Indiana Jones film for me, it would probably be Kalima, Temple of Doom. It was okay. It wasn't bad. I'd still watch it today, but I would say that is, and you know what? It is really that scarred me for life. To this day, I cannot eat chilled monkey brains. To this day, I can't. It turns my stomach just to think about chilled monkey brains. Not that I would have a plan to eat chilled monkey brains, which I understand is a delicacy to some, but it freaks me out. My second reaction, and I made sure I wrote this down to because this is very, very important. I'm hopeful. So beyond just this I'm not cautiously optimistic. I believe it's going to be a solid Indiana Jones film. I'm hopeful. And I think that's a good reaction to have because I don't feel, because of the people involved and because of how I felt about Indiana Jones throughout my life, and really how I reacted to Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, or Crystal Skulls, the feeling of hope that I've got is it's nice. I always like to hope, and as some people look forward to new films on a regular basis, I never imagined we'd see the fourth Indiana Jones installment, let alone the fifth. So I'm hopeful that it's going to take me on a magical adventure, that I'm going to suspend disbelief, as I most frequently do when I watch any kind of entertainment, and especially with Indiana Jones. And I've always enjoyed the character. He's got the right amount of swagger. I don't know if I may have even reacted to the idea of an Indiana Jones reboot. And that is a different topic for a different day. As far as I'm concerned, Harrison Ford is Indiana Jones. Period. End of story. I enjoyed the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles too, at least the ones that I saw. But I'm a Harrison Ford Indiana Jones fan, and I'm very, very hopeful that this one's going to be good, as good as the last one, the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. As good, if not better. That's my hope. I don't think, for the fans who didn't like the fourth installment, I don't think it's going to be worse for you. I can't imagine it. I can't. The last reaction I had is disappointment. This is kind of, I think is kind of telling, if you will. I'm disappointed that I'll have to wait another 3 years to see it. They're planning on a 2019 release date. Planning. So that's 3 years from now. That's kind of disappointing. It's like, well, I mean, they can't like shoot it overnight and then release it tomorrow. It's not like that. I'm disappointed in that, and I'm also disappointed that it took this long. I'm going to just be flat out honest with you. Imagine all that time between Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls and The Last Crusade. We could have had a solid 3 Indiana Jones movies in there. Solid 3. But I understand Harrison Ford, he's not. You want to talk about an actor with range. I've loved him in just about everything I've seen him in. In fact, one of my favorite Harrison Ford movies isn't Star Wars, isn't Indiana Jones. It's Regarding Henry. I really like that film. Really, really, really like that movie a lot, for a lot of different reasons. Harrison Ford, I'd imagine that he would not just want to be known as the Han Solo guy or the Indiana Jones guy, though he played those roles very, very well to this point. I wish we had more Indiana Jones films. So I'm disappointed. I'm like, man, just think about it. Think about having in your life 3 more Indiana Jones films. Just think about it. I don't know if we're going to see 3 more after this. I don't know. It's a big question mark there. We're all not getting younger. I did not collect any Indiana Jones toys necessarily. I had I think I had an Indiana Jones Kenner action figure once, and I don't know what the hell happened to it. Wasn't so much into those, but I ended up getting some of the Lego Indiana Jones sets when they were ultimately released. Not all of them. Some of them were opened. I don't think I saved any of the boxes. I need to get used to that, keeping the Lego sets in boxes, because that's when they become worth more than gold. Not a joke. That's really what they say. So I've got my chat behind me. Cassie's here. Cassie, haven't seen you in a bit. She is the Star Trek to my Star Wars there. I'm going to move on to doing Pirillo picks, then I'm going to be answering questions from the community of patrons, talking about today's news and other whatnots during this broadcast. What are your reactions to hearing that there's going to be a new Indiana Jones film? There's nothing to see yet. Nothing, no teaser, no trailer or anything. That'll be a separate reaction video for the future, but I'm all those things. Excited, hopeful, and disappointed. In a happy way. I think disappointed is painted in a happy way. Okay, time for Pirillo picks. If you want the rest of TLDR and general geekery with me live every weekday, head over to chrispirillo.com for more bonus Pirillo footage live. Today's free podcast highlight was brought to you by all of my active patrons from chrispirillo.com. If you want access to the full TLDR episodes, both audio, video, past, present, and future, which can be up to an hour long or longer, with even more tech insight from me every weekday, plus other bonus content without ads, and support me at the same time, you can sign up to become one of my supernomies too. This is just a brief taste of what I'm producing for you daily. Again, get more through chrispirillo.com.